Yeah. We are back with you. The Brown Beauty is back on duty at just after 5 o'clock on the west coast of America. And God's blue-green earth, this great nation we call the USA, United States of America, and God bless America the beautiful. Hey, it's good to be back with you. The Brown Beauty, Jesse Terrero, is back on duty with you after a long weekend. Wow, what a weekend it was. We had a crazy weekend here in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Rams' first home game in about 35 years or so at the Coliseum. And I noticed that the parking downtown was $100 just to park your car. Some of these people were charging $50 to $100 for a parking space down near the Coliseum after the Coliseum filled up in their parking lots. My goodness, that's going to be a treasure trove of money, better than winning the California lottery. These folks are going to be having a feast time. Why not? They've been in famine for so long down there near Exposition Park, USC, and the Coliseum. And then we had the 68th annual Emmy celebration down at the Staples Center, and what a celebration it was. And a little bit later on through the week, we'll be talking a little bit more about that and all the parties afterwards. The LA downtown area was in severe lockdown. It was like locked up. The key was thrown out. You could not get anywhere if you were driving. I mean, that's when the subway really came into play down in downtown Los Angeles there, and cabbies and stuff like that. You couldn't get anywhere if you had a car. It was an impossible dream in downtown Los Angeles over this weekend to get anywhere. It's good to have you along with us. It's the Jesse T Show live at 5 right here, Monday through Friday from 5 to 6. We're straight on the point as you enter the world according to Terrero. That's my best village people of my name, right? Torrero, Torrero, Terrero. Young man, you gotta listen to my show. Young lady, don't you go. You gotta stay here forever now with me because it's Jesse T on your radio. Da. Okay. All right, there's my great musical interpretation of YMCA by the Village People. And hey, it's a Monday in Southern California, and I am raring full of energy. I am raring full of true grit. I saw one of my favorite movies over the weekend. That's right, John Wayne. I saw John Wayne and True Grit. Oh, what a great movie that was. You know, he won the Academy Award for that. If you've never seen the original True Grit, you've got to watch it. It's just absolutely fantastic. It's one of my all-time favorite John Wayne movies in True Grit. So, and I understand that they're going to be redoing a remake of High Noon. That was a great Gary Cooper movie, High Noon, where he walks out against the bad guys, the bad gunslingers, all by himself because the town wouldn't help him. And he did everything he could to help all the town for years and years and years. But when the push came to shove, when the you-know-what hit the fan, he was there by himself. And they're redoing that one. Go see Magnificent Seven with Denzel Washington. That was a lot of fun. A very, very interesting interpretation of the Magnificent Seven. But for me, even though I am a huge Denzel Washington fan, ever since I saw Man on Fire, and that was a true story, that Denzel Washington, I'm a huge fan of him. I still like Yul Brynner in the Magnificent Seven. Yul Brynner, the guy with the skin head. Look him up on Google search or IMDb. Hey, you can check me out on IMDb too, Jesse Terrero. I've got some stuff I've done in there too, so check that out. Also, I do want to remind you, like I do at the beginning on every show here at thepowerofvoices.com, www.thepowerofvoices.com. That's our global radio network. We had a lot of festivities out at the weekend here. We were down there in the city of Inglewood, broadcasting live on our sister station. I hope I get this right, 92.3thebeat.com. And we were out there doing our thing, Jesse T and the Fabulous Jesse T Show on AVTV Live, AVTV Live, AVTV Live, AVTV Live. Yes, I'm stuck on the Village People. I don't know why. Probably on the way in to the Burbank studio here, I was listening to some Village People. AVTV, the entertainment channel, AVTV. Yes, we were out there live at the Hispanic Heritage Festival. I believe it's the second year they've done it in a row, and there were thousands of people out there. My favorite car at the car show was that 57 Cadillac. Oh, I did broadcast that out on facebooklive.com/Jesse Terrero, the same site that we're on right now. And you can check out that previous broadcast and check out some of those very, very, very cool cars and all the people, the police, the fire. We interviewed a few people, got a chance to talk to Lee Michaels and Josefa Salinas and Rick Noon. Rick's got a great radio program, Then and Now. You got to check it out. It's on 92.3thebeat.com, and I got that right. And why am I not on that radio station? I don't know why I'm not on. I should be doing some music. I should be doing some music. Yes, what I should be doing some music on that radio station. Yes. Yes, I'm still stuck in the Village People mode. I just don't know what costume to wear. Should I wear the Indian guy, the construction guy, the biker guy, the police guy? Who should I wear? You know, I always liked the Indian dude. And the biker dude and his mustache wasn't for me. But the police guy, nah. I like the Indian dude. I don't know why I like the Indian dude. I like this costume. Strange, anyhow. You know, I had no idea they were gay. I had no idea that the Village People were gay until I went to a concert, and there were like 75% of the Greek auditorium, the Greek theater was men. Yeah, you see, I was a late bloomer in observation techniques. I had no idea. You know, when I was I had to go to the bathroom at that concert, and the bathroom, out the men's side of the bathroom, was like a mile long, but there were no women in the women's side of the bathroom. Now, this is back in the early 1980s, right? And I couldn't figure it out. I had no idea. But they sure were one of my favorite groups. I love them. I mean, that's how, you know, innocent I was and naive I was about those things when I was in my 20s. Okay. Nevertheless, download that free app, and the free app is Power of Voices, and you can get it for Apple or you can get it for Android. And we want you to chime in on that app, because then you can check out our program here, the Jesse T Show, and Straight on the Point, live at 5. You can check out our program here every Monday through Friday from 5 to 6. Also, you can check out Lee Michaels' live show, the Lee Michaels Show, from 10 to 12, and all the other great programs we have here. And we got some sexy programs at night. Let me tell you, we got these two ladies. Woo, baby. Whew. They talk some sexy talk. Oh, I don't know. They talk about, I don't know, they talk about all this interesting stuff around making love. Yeah. Well, that's about as close as I get to it these days, but now that's another story. Anyway, and got some other great programs, the Greg Bell Sports Show, and he played for the Los Angeles Rams and the LA Raiders in the NFL. So you want to check him out because he has some really insight. This guy kind of gets back into the locker room, beyond the locker room. You know, he knows a lot of these guys still, and he's a respected NFL veteran, so he can get places that nobody else can get. You want to check out his show too, as well. All right, so anyway, we've got a lot of things to talk about today. Just wanted to lay out the intro to you. You could catch us on YouTube Live right now, also on Facebook.com/The Power of Voices, as well as utilizing our app, and that'll take you right to the website, and AVTV Live, the entertainment channel, at Facebook.com/Jesse Terrero. So it's good to have you along with us here on the Jesse T Show. Well, what do you think about what happened in New Jersey and New York? Let's get right to it now. This guy, this nutty guy, this crazy psychopath idiot, good for nothing, deadbeat dad, because that's what he said. That's what his lady said. His lady said that he was a deadbeat dad. Yes, I'm going out of the picture is because I had to drop my pen. Yeah, now I'm back in the picture. All right, that's the power of radio, is that you never know what we're doing. But when you couple radio with a live TV broadcast, then you know everything that we're doing. So, you know, you got to kind of explain for the radio audience when we do something physically. But anyhow, this guy, and you know his name, Ahmed Khan Rahim. Rahim. And they caught him last night. Boy, they came down real quick, didn't they? New York City, they didn't mess around. They did the lockdown. Did you see some of those pictures today with some of the guys, the military men dressed in armored gear, standing on just about every corner in New York? One of the things that they have in New York, and a lot of people don't realize it, especially those folks that here live in Los Angeles in Southern California, our Los Angeles Police Department only has about 10,000 police officers. That's it. Because the LA City Council, in their infinite wisdom, will not give any more money to the Los Angeles Police Department so that they can recruit like twice as many of them. Yes, our infamous and very wonderful Los Angeles City Council. You know what I think about them? These guys, these bureaucrats. I mean, they do the craziest, stupid things with our money, but yet they won't give the LAPD more money so that they can hire more officers. You see, the mayor in Los Angeles, he really doesn't have a lot of say-so over things. He just puts things to the City Council of Los Angeles, the 14 members there, and they vote on how much of that they're going to do and how much money that they're going to spend towards that. So that's sort of how that works here in Los Angeles. Now, there are other cities that work a little bit differently, where the actual police are governed by a police commissioner. The police commissioners here in Los Angeles really don't have any say-so over the LAPD. So we only have about 10,000 Los Angeles policemen. That's it in the city of Los Angeles. Now, LA County sheriffs, there's about 10, so collectively there's 20,000. But in a city and an area the size of LA County and LA City, that's it? Yeah, that's it. No wonder it takes 5 hours for them to come out, unless there's like guns ablazing and bombs blowing up. It takes like 5 hours to get them anywhere. They just don't have the manpower. They don't have the police power to do it. And people get mad at the police because they think it's the policeman's fault that shows up there and the police officer's fault. And they don't realize that, you know, they can only do so much. They can only be in so many places at one time. Unlike New York now. Do you know that New York's police force is over 40,000 people? 40,000 for an area the size of basically the San Fernando Valley. Because when you get into Manhattan, the island of Manhattan, you know, that's about the size, more or less, of the San Fernando Valley. Maybe a little longer, not maybe a little wider, but that's about the best way I can explain it. 40,000 coppers. So, you know, they did the lockdown this week when the pipe bomb or the pressure cooker bomb and the pipe bombs were blowing up. And they connected this guy to the New Jersey thing. He was apparently taking this train back and forth that takes a couple of hours to go from Jersey to where he was at, then back to Jersey, where they catch this guy sleeping like a bum, like a deadbeat bum, like his wife said he is. He's a deadbeat, no good bum. That's what his wife says about him, a deadbeat dad. And or his girlfriend or significant other. sleeping in some doorway, right? Duh. I mean, what is this guy? He doesn't have too many brains, that's for sure. And he couldn't even make the bombs right because over half of them didn't blow up. Apparently, he had pressure cooker bombs all over the friggin' city. I mean, it was really dangerous. And God bless that it didn't blow up, especially those runners that were going to do the 5K for the military men and women. They were delayed, and only one, I think, of 4 of those bombs blew up. And so he probably got that out of the internet or some manual that these nutcases, these psychopaths look at, just unbelievable. And one of the interesting things I found out about this guy, one of his friends said that he never was the same after he came back from a vacation in Afghanistan. Let me repeat that. And one of his friends said that he was never the same after he came back from a vacation in Afghanistan. Let me think here for a second. I've worked all year long, saved my money, and got some time off from work, and I'm going to go on vacation. So let's see, where can I go on vacation? Hawaii? Nah. Who wants to do the beautiful islands of Hawaii and Kauai and Oahu and Maui? Who wants those beautiful beaches and oceans, that beautiful temperature and the beautiful lush gardens when you can take a helicopter trip? Who wants to do it? Maybe I'll go to Australia. Yeah, go to the Australian outback and see the coral reefs and all that stuff. Who wants to go there? They got some pretty girls in Australia. Maybe I'll go to Hong Kong and see those big, beautiful buildings and eat all kinds of cool food in Hong Kong. No. Where can I go to vacation? Maybe I'll go to Catalina Island off the coast of Los Angeles, and kind of kick back on the Pacific side of the island where there's like nobody. No, I'm not going to do that. No. Maybe I'll go to the Bahamas. That sounds like good. I can go to that big hotel they have there in Bahamas. I just saw a commercial. Maybe I'll go to France and go to the top of the Eiffel Tower and see the Louvre and maybe I'll go to Monte Carlo and check out some of those. Maybe I can pick up on a rich older woman who will take care of me the rest of my life in Monte Carlo. I don't think about. Oh, I know where I can go. I know. I think I'll go to Israel. No. There's the great white demon in Israel. The Israelis are there. No, those Jewish swine. I'm not going to go there. No, God, yeah. No, well, maybe. No, I got the place. I'll go to Egypt. Yeah. I'm going to go to Egypt and I'm not going to go to Egypt. You can't have any fun in Egypt. You can't learn anything in Egypt. I think maybe I'll go to Iran. Yeah, I'm going to go to Iran. No, I can't get a visa to Iran. Gosh, where do I go for my vacation? Oh, I got it. I'll go to Iraq. There's not enough happening here. Syria? I don't want to. I got it. I'm going to go to Afghanistan. Back in the USSR, back in AFAGAN. Yeah, man, the Beatles are going to do a song about back in the USSR, like back in Afghanistan. And then the Beach Boys are going to do a song, those American girls, right? Can you imagine? I'm going to go to Afghanistan. That's right. I'm going to go to Afghanistan and wear one of those long robes and not take a bath for a while and stink and grow my beard real big. And I'm going to learn how to shoot an AK-47, and I'm going to learn how to maybe behead some people and chop their livers out. And oh yeah, boy, that's going to be fun while I eat some stale goat's milk. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful place. I'm going to go to the beaches of Afghanistan, some piss hole in some unpurified water. Oh yeah, that's great. Oh sure. I'm gonna go to Afghanistan. That's where I'm gonna go. Yes, where I can beat up on women and stone them to death, and I can sell them like slave trades. Oh, ISIS is where I want to be. That's where I want to be. Yay! ISIS. The Taliban's not bad enough for me. They're not chopping off enough heads. That's where I'm going to go. And his friend says, you know, when he came back from Afghanistan, he never was the same. Now, let me say it in New Jersey style. Yo, you know, when he came back from Afghanistan, he never was the same, yo. Duh. You figure? You figure? Huh. Wow. Homegrown terrorists. Don't you love them? You think if a guy grows a big bushy black beard, right, and he sues the New Jersey Police Department in the city of New Jersey for religious discrimination, and he hates America, and he's like a deadbeat dad. Oh, they were watching this guy too. And he's like looking at magazines on how to make pipe bombs and pressure cooker bombs. You think that maybe this guy is like, something wrong with him? Are you telling me that there's not a person in his sphere of influence, there's not a person in his peer group that didn't know what this guy was doing? That's how they caught this guy. They have a policy there on in New York after 9/11. I think it's called see and report, or look, see and report, or something like that. They call it some 3-word thing. But if you see something suspicious, report it immediately, no matter how trite it might be to you. You see a package in the subway, report it. You see this, that, report it. You see some suspicious characters, report it. You see some people yelling Allah Akbar and all this crap, report it, right? So you think there's not somebody in his sphere of influence that didn't see some, like maybe his ex-wife or girlfriend or significant other that calls him a deadbeat dad, what's going on here, right? So what's happening here? I mean, you would think that somebody would have reported this knucklehead? Really? Kind of interesting. Anyhow, so they catch this guy and they shoot him up a little bit, and he goes to the hospital, and now they got him, and they're going to start getting all the information they need to know. Was there any accomplices? Was there people involved? I haven't been able to catch up with the story for the last couple of hours, but nevertheless, I'll tell you, look at this homegrown terrorist stuff. I don't know how we're going to stop that. I really don't. Some people say you're just not going to be able to stop it. I'm going to say, hey, man, we got to start ratting on people. That's it. I'm sorry. Some dude grows a bushy beard and starts looking like him. Did you see those 4 pictures, those nice pictures? One of the pictures is just like a regular guy. Then all of a sudden he looks like this medieval character, you know. I mean, really. We got to start pointing things out more to our police. We got to start saying, hey, you know, there's some crazy weird dude or chick over here, like the people in San Bernardino. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this. Look, when I see characters like that, I don't know about you. I go to the other side of the room. I exit stage right. Yeah. Hey, you want to call it whatever you want to call it. I call it survival of Jesse Terrero. There's the last thing I'm going to have is some character with a bomb wrapped around his chest and blow himself up and kill my family. It's like, oh, look who's on the bus. Bing, bing, bing. I get off at the next bus stop. It's like, oh, wait a second. Look who's in the store. Oh, at the mall. Dun, dun, dun. I leave. I go as far away from these nutcases as I can get. Hey, you want to talk about the profiling? You want to talk about, hey, look it. I'm the biggest profiler in the world. I'll look at what, whoa, wait, you got that beard? Wait a second. See ya. Have a nice day. C'est la vie, mon chéri. I take my family and I'm gone. You know why? Because I'm being proactive. That's all I need is some nutcase to take out a 45 or an AK-47 and start spraying in a 360. That means I'm going to have to take out my 45 and drop them. That's right. Oh, yeah, I live in California. We're not supposed to have that. Oops, I just made a mistake. Oops, there it is. Oops, there it is. Hey, I got to tell you, I don't know about you folks, but I'm armed and dangerous. You want to know why? Because the police can't be there to protect me. They can't be there to protect my family. I think everybody in America should be licensed to kill. Give me an 007 birth certificate, man. Absolutely. We should all be taught to shoot, how to handle firearms and weapons to protect ourselves, because these guys got bombs. They don't have guns. They got that too. This guy started spraying bullets in every direction when the coppers came up on him. He just started laying bullets out in the street. They're like 30 rounds. And he runs down the street and gets himself shot in his ass. Or however he gets himself shot. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the lunacy? Well, that's all I need to be eating Cheerios in the morning, and I get my house gets peddled with 10 bullets. Great. I'm picking up my 45. I'm going outside. I'll tell you something. We got it backwards. I'm all for profiling. See, we can't stop homegrown terrorists. There are people that are living in this country that I'm sorry. There are people living in this country like Ahmad Khan Rahim that hate America. Their name could be Joe Williams too. But, you know, I'm not buying my house near a mosque. Thank you very much. I don't care what anybody says. Sometimes I get these feedback on Facebook, you know, oh, you're just a prejudice, you're just discriminating, you're just a bigot, I'm not that. I don't want to get shot and blown up by a shrapnel of a pipe bomb, for God's sakes. Hey, look it. If I'm in the jungle and there are 10 grizzly bears, thank you very much. I'm going to get the hell out of there. Somehow, some way. I'm not going to be grizzly bear meat. Thank you very much. No way. That's called survival, man. And that's what this country's coming down to. It's surviving. Surviving these nutcases like this. This guy had these pressure cooker bombs all over. I mean, there were 2 of them the last I heard. Then there were 5, and then they had pipe bombs. This guy was like, you know, he was like the ever ready bunny rabbit. Man, this guy was building these things. I mean, really? So you see, the only way you get rid of homegrown terrorists is to point out, and I'm sorry, during World War II, we interned a whole bunch of Japanese people. And some of these Japanese people lived here in this country for 100 years. Here on the West Coast especially. We kept very watchful eye on Italians and Germans on the East Coast, because that's where most of them were at the time. Very watchful eye. One of the reasons why we didn't attack Italy and Germany, or at least pronounce in Congress that we're at war with them, is because we had so many Italian and German immigrants, and their family members were they were first generation back to the home country. We pronounced war against Japan. That's another discussion. But here's the point. You know, here's the point. It won't be the first time in our nation that we said, wait a second. I mean, if it's survival, and if this is what it's coming down to, if our country is coming down to the fact that we have to survive, the police aren't going to be there, folks, especially in California. They're not going to be there because I pointed out there's only 9,999 police officers for the city of Los Angeles, the size of 4 or 5 down Manhattans. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. They're not coming here. You know what they're coming? They're coming with the big truck that has mops to wipe up your blood. That's what they're coming. I'd rather be, you know something? I would rather be tried by 12 than buried by 6. Okay? Thank you very much. It's not happening. And if that's what our country's coming down to, if that's what we got to worry about is these kind of nutcases, the guy in Minnesota, man, his dad didn't even know that his son was into ISIS. What do they have? ISIS Power Rangers or something? I mean, really? Oh, yeah. Someone's everyday dream to be able to, go to ISIS and be a Talibanist and an ISIS ass, an ISAS. That's what I call them. They're an ISAS, okay? And accost and rape women. Slave trades. What is this? Going back to the Dark Ages? Is this going back to the Dark Ages? Okay, if that's what you want to do, brother, like Hulk Hogan, brother, you want to go back to the Dark Ages? Hey, no problem. Yeah, I'll strap my 45 on. I'd love to be able to do that in the state of California. The voters voted that we could have honor carry laws with a license, but the stupid legislature and Governor Jerry Brown, they're fighting it. And the city of Los Angeles won't let you get one because our Mayor Garcetti and the city council are a bunch of yin-yangs. Go figure. I need to move to a state that allow me to wrap my AR-15 around my side. I have no problem living in that kind of world. That guy in Minnesota, he gets out a knife and he starts cutting up people left and right and left and right. And it was an off-duty police officer that dropped his butt. I bet you if there were 10 guys in there that had guns, he would have been dropped after he sliced one person up. Oh, yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. I see these kind of stories and I say to myself, all right, okay. So we can't really decide who is a homegrown terrorist and who's not. Well, for me personally, I profile the heck out of everybody. You look like a gang member? You're a gang member. Doesn't mean you're a nice gang, not a nice gang member. Doesn't mean I can't get along with you. And doesn't mean that maybe after I talk to you, you're not a gang member. Maybe you're a quantum physicist and you just like to wear gang member clothes. I mean, that's cool. There's lots of guys out there that like to dress up in dresses too. There's lots of girls out there that like to dress up like guys. And when Halloween comes around, a lot of people run around Hollywood Boulevard dressed up like fools. We're twisted right now. And the only way that we can protect ourselves, I gave this great thought, how do we protect ourselves against homegrown ones? I grew up in the streets of Pacoima. Pacoima, I don't have that hard luck story, where my mother was a whore and my father left me, and I don't have any of that hard luck story like that. My dad was a murderer and my dad was a gang member. I don't have any of that hard luck story that I come from a good family. But I grew up in Pacoima. It's what my folks could afford, Pacoima and Sun Valley. That's what I did. But I had my runarounds. Don't get me wrong. We had our runarounds, We did our thing. One of the things you learn in the street, growing up in the street around people that, grow up in the street, you learn to watch people. You learn to watch your environment, left and right, keep your head on a swivel, checking your six all the time. You keep your eyes up, you look people in the eye, you kind of look at things and you watch things. You learn how You learn how to observe danger before danger observes you. So you're never caught by surprise. And if you are, you have a way out. You also learn how to have a way out so you can get the heck out of there if you need to, fast, without getting hurt. You learn to stay away from certain individuals that to you just don't look right. To you that just, 1 and 1 doesn't make up 2. 1 and 1 starts looking like 4 or 6. It's not right. It's not connecting. The dots are just not able to touch each other. I don't know about you, but there are certain groups of people that I just will walk away from. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. I'm going to live, man. I'm going to live. And if you look suspicious to me, I'm 411ing here in Los Angeles. Or 911. I'm going to 911. Say, there's a suspicious character over there. He's carrying a bag. He's dropping different bags off from different places. I'll make an anonymous call. Thank goodness for the cameras. Thank goodness for all those cameras in Chelsea, in New York. Wow. I don't like all the cameras. I think it invades everybody's privacy. There's so many cameras. But in this particular case, thank goodness we had them. There's a good side and a bad side to everything. And sometimes you have to take the medicine that you're given, and that's just what you have to do. And in our world today, we have to have cameras. We have to have this peeping Tom on every aspect of our lives, because if we don't, then we don't know how to solve things as fast as we solve. So thank goodness we had that. There's a good side and bad side to everything. But the point is, how do you stop homegrown terrorists? You don't. Our country is not teaching the basic values of what Americanism is anymore in schools, at our churches. Our country is not teaching love and compassion and empathy anymore. Our country is not teaching that America's national anthem and our flag is all for one and one for all. Our country is not teaching the core values that bring us together, the melting pot of the world that we are. Our country is not demanding upon our immigrants and our people to do certain things. Our country has no taboos anymore. Everybody has a right, even if you're wrong. Our laws have been castrated and twisted by attorneys for the almighty dollar and by political and corporate aristocracies. Our country has high rates of divorce. Our country has a me, myself, and I attitude. No wonder we have homegrown terrorists. Duh. I mean, 1 and 1 makes 2 there to me. I was talking about this stuff 25 and 35 years ago. I was telling people, if you saw some of the stuff I wrote way before this kind of technology that we had here, if you saw some of the stuff that I wrote 30, 35 years ago, 35 years ago, you would say, man, what were you, a foreteller of the future? Yes. Unless we make some changes, our future is going to be pretty challenging. Trump is right. We better knuckle down. We better do some things different. If you want some changes, you have to change what you're doing. Otherwise, you're going to end up with the same old, same old. Do you know that in America today, we have, and this is a mind-boggling statistic, we have about 12 million illegal immigrants. 12 million. Most of those being Mexicans from Mexico. In fact, the order of illegal immigrants The order of illegal immigrants goes Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Philippines, India, Korea, Ecuador. It goes to Brazil, China. Did you know that? That's kind of the order of illegal immigrants in this country. Just not Mexicans. Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Philippines, India, Korea, Ecuador, Brazil, and China. And you know, when you look at this, you say, wow, I thought it was just all Mexicans. No. 12 million illegal immigrants in this country today. And what kind of vetting do you think we've done for those 12 million illegal immigrants? We don't even know who they are. We don't even know where they came from, what cities, what towns. We have no idea about their health records. We have no idea about their religious persuasions. We have no idea the size of their families, their names. We have no idea how tall they are, how much they weigh. We have no idea about anything about these people. We used to know all these things when they came through Ellis Island and Paris Island and the one up in San Francisco. We used to have all this information, at least the basics. We don't have any of that anymore. 80%, in 1986, this is one of the worst things that President Reagan did. And I lost a lot of respect for him. There were two things that he did. He started NAFTA, North American Free Trade Act, and he brought us into the beginnings of the New World Order. And he also created amnesty, where 2.7 million people got their green card in 1986. 2.7 million people that were here illegally at that time got their green card. Did you know that in 1969 there were only 500,000 illegal immigrants in America? I'm talking about all of America. In 1969 there were only 500,000 illegal immigrants in America. 500,000. In 1969, I was 9 years old. People look back on those days and say, wow, those good old days, those days when we were Americans and it was a yellow house, a white picket fence, apple pie, the good old stars and stripes, red, white, and blue forever, the Star-Spangled Banner, America the Beautiful, in God we trust. And we all spoke English. Everybody. The Italian, the Polish, the German immigrants on the East Coast, the Swedish, the Finnish, the Norwegian immigrants on the East Coast, the people of Jewish faith on the East Coast, the Puerto Ricans, Cubans, the Bahamians, the Haitians on the East Coast, the Yugoslavians, the Hungarians, the French, the Greeks, the Armenians on the East Coast, because that was the biggest part of immigration in the last big move and cycle of people to America. They all learned how to speak English. 1969, I was 9 years old, and there was only 500,000 illegal immigrants from the whole world. 500,000 illegal immigrants. I'm talking illegal immigrants. 500,000. 500,000. In 1989, 20 years after that, when I was 29, there were 3.4 million. And that is after 2.7 million were given green cards in 86. So we had like a clearing out of 2.7 million that got green cards, but yet there was another 3.4 million in 89 that were illegal. I remember I walked into my mother's house in 1987, and I said to my mother, I sold real estate. I was also on the radio here in Los Angeles, and I was on a daytime soap opera and had some commercials running. doing some concerts, but I sold real estate every day like I still do today. I'm a broker and a loan officer, loan broker. And I talked to my mother and I said, you know, Mom, I'm 29. I did this in 87. I said, boy, Mom, the neighborhood's really changing. The valley's really changing. Los Angeles is really changing. So I get around a lot selling real estate, listing houses and bringing buyers. And she said, and it's not going to stop. She said to me then, it's going to change so dramatically in your life because I'm afraid, Jesse Glenn, that's my name, America is not the America that I grew up in. My mom was born in 1936. And it never will be. Profound words. She died in 1994 at 57. So in 1989, there were 3.4 million. In 2000, there were 5 million illegal immigrants. In 2007, there were 11.7 million. In 2014, just 2 years ago, there were 11.3 million. Wow. No wonder things have changed. And I wonder how many of those people we actually know anything about. Because remember, they're not just Mexicans, they're El Salvadorians. Oh, El Salvador, MS-13 gang, one of the most notorious violent gangs in Central America. They came out of the guerrilla wars in El Salvador and Honduras. Yes, MS-13. Oh, they're everywhere. El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Philippines, India, Korea, Ecuador, Brazil, and China. Not just Mexicans. I wonder how many people we know. We know how many of those people were rapists, murderers, arsonists, assault and battery, thieves, burglars, drug addicts, drug pushers. I wonder how many. Pedophiles, perverts. I wonder how many we know about their background. Kidnap artists, blackmail, larcenists. It's interesting when you start looking at illegal immigration. Now, I will tell you, there's no correlation. Many studies have been done by Homeland Security and the Pew Group. The Pew Group is one of the most revered research entities in America. And there is no correlation that illegal immigration is going to create more, or these are more criminals. In fact, they say that illegal immigrants, the evidence really shows that illegal immigrants, whether they're illegal immigrants or legal immigrants, there's not more or less. They are not more or less likely to commit crimes than anybody else. So that's a fact. But it just makes sense to me that we should know a little bit about who's coming into this country, especially when we kind of lost our way in our value system in this country. We got to start somewhere. Most of the illegal immigrants hang out in California, Texas, Florida, New York, New Jersey, and Illinois. Idaho, Maryland, Nevada, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia are gaining fast. Nevada is the largest state of illegal immigrants, and that's 8%. 5.1% of the U.S. labor force is illegal. Only 5.1%. 8.1 million are working in this country illegally. Nevada holds about 10% of that, California at 9%, Texas at 9%, and New Jersey at 8%. So a lot of them are in Nevada and here in California. And the highest share of illegal immigrants in the workforce are usually construction, not service-oriented businesses. K through 12, that illegal immigrants that were born here, they have 7% of the illegal immigrants that were born here have one parent that was born in another country. In fact, 8 out of 10. or 79% of those that were born here have at least 1%. Mexico is the number one, as I stated already, of illegal immigrants. It's been declining since 2007, though, and this is an interesting thing. It's been declining because of the recession. There are other reasons why it's declining, because basically Mexican men and women are getting homesick. They want family reunification. And the slowest recovery we've ever had, of course, Obama and his great recovery, right? All these great jobs. And we talked about that last week, that the real true unemployment is actually about 20%. When you tend to take into consideration those that have just given up for work and are now on some sort of government assistance program. But most of them are going back in this great recovery because it's really not a great recovery at all. So that's an indication that our recovery just sucks. And many of them are going back because of strict enforcement. Now, of course, the Obama administration has been fighting that since the beginning. But because of stricter enforcement, a lot of them are going back. In fact, Mexico, we're shipping more Mexicans back to Mexico than Mexicans are shipping to us. It's kind of switched. And that comes from the Mexican Census Bureau. See, one of the things that we have to understand about immigration is that a country can only take so much. We can only take so much immigration from any one country, and it has to be legal and not illegal. There's no way of tracking. We already have enough problems with homegrown terrorists. Now, even though there is no way, there's no inclination that more criminals that any more crime is going to be done by illegal or legal immigrants than naturally born Americans. But I'll tell you what, let's deal with our problems first. ISIS has said in the Syrian refugees that they're going to proliferate those groups with terrorists. They told us that. They've given us the game plan. In fact, the number one growing statistic of immigrants in this country today is China. China, Asian. That's probably going to overpass the Latino immigration numbers very soon. And they're coming with money. And most of them are legal. What they're doing is utilizing the United States immigration laws to their benefit because they have the money to be able to do that. And they can't walk across water. So once they're here, they're here. India has a large percentage that's growing too, but mostly it's China. One of the things we have to look at in terms of, we have to protect our country, and we have to protect our country from ourselves. We have a big enough problem within ourselves, like this nutcase. I'm just going to call him idiot. You know, I got to figure out a name to call him. Another problem that we have is these 300 sanctuary cities like San Francisco. That helps people not be deported. So if you're an illegal immigrant, find yourself a sanctuary city, go move there because it'll be harder to deport you. In 2013 and 2014, this is an amazing thing. ICE is like the police of immigration. They're the police of drugs. They're like a policing agency. You have the immigration department, but ICE is like a policing agency. Okay? They let go 66,000 illegal immigrant criminals. Now, I know I said there's no statistic. The statistics are, there's no greater number of people that are here legally or illegally that are going to commit crime any more or less than the people living here. But look at, when you look at the great melting pot of 27 million people living in America, maybe a tad bit more now. When you look at that and you say, well, releasing 66,000 illegal immigrant criminals, that's like, releasing a drop of water in the Pacific Ocean. Well, Would you want one of those people living in your neighborhood? How about they move right in next to you and they're a pedophile and they want to rape your son and your child, your little girl? How about they're drunk and they're an alcoholic and they've been busted 5 times for DUIs, and then they kill some family around the corner? That happens to be your best friend around the other corner. Would you like these people to live by you? If you do, hey, send me your address. I'll make sure everybody can move in by you. There were over 160,000 convictions. 160,000 convictions of 66,000 illegal immigrant criminals had over 160,000 convictions. That means these 66,000 illegals were convicted more than once. Do the math. 30,000 of them were convicted for drunk driving multiple times. 414 were convicted for kidnapping. Oh, you say, well, that's not that many. Well, what if they kidnap your wife? And they take her and they sell her in the sex trade marketplace to some ISIS crazy terrorist, absolutely psychopath MFer. That 414 would be probably pretty important to you, wouldn't it? You see, as long as Americans feel it's not in my neighborhood and next door to me, and not in my school or my church, it's okay. Well, it isn't. It isn't okay. Because if it's not next to you, it's next to somebody else. And it's not okay. See, we've lost our way in this country. It's not me, myself, and I. It's us collectively. It's not okay. Because if it's okay and it happens to you, then it's going to be okay. Otherwise, you're a hypocrite. 11,000 were rapers and sexual assaulters. 395 were homicides. In Chicago, they just peaked over. I think it was, I don't know what the number. It's an astronomical number. 2,000? I might be wrong, but all I know, it's the highest number of any city in the United States of America in the last 10 years of murders, homicides, murders of all types. 395 of those were let go. So there's a lot of criminals back on the street that are illegals. And that was 2014, 2 years ago. This guy, whatever his name was, Ahmad Khan Rahim, I don't know what to call him. This guy who sued New York City, New Jersey City, and the police department for religious discrimination. This guy. Unbelievable. This is how we have to solve it. We have to stop the flow of illegal immigration. We have to stop it now. We have to take our immigrants and make them legal. We have to vet from nations where terrorists come from, much more intensely. Russian communists, Chinese communists, Iranians, Islam, people of Muslim terrorist nations. Sorry. We have to stop and rewrite our immigration laws. We have to fix the inside of this country first by stopping everything outside. By doing that, and only that, we can have the possibility of solving some of these problems in our country. Radical as that may seem, that's what we got to do. We got to look at our inside and say, we're stinking up inside. We got to fix the inside by first stopping the outside. Illegal immigration has to stop. Immigration has to stop. Period. The world according to Torero, until we fix our inside and fix these homegrown terrorists. The Brown Beauty is always on duty. It's the Jesse T Show from 5 to 6, right here on the Digital Broadcasting Network, ABTV Live, and the PowerOfVoices.com. Jesse Torero saying, tomorrow, 5 o'clock, be here. The Brown Beauty is off duty. Boom! See ya!